Oh, live already. Doesn't take long to figure out what's going live, especially when you have a newer computer and have the ability to reach out and talk to people. Want to come back and get online simply because I don't believe that we understand the importance of public education and the offer of a free and appropriate public education, a FAPE, as they call it. What is a FAPE? I think we all need to know what a FAPE is. It's supposed to ensure that people have access to public services. It's how you become a citizen. It's what you have the ability to actually make over a long period of time in your life to ensure that you can sustain your children. How it works in America is that the most important thing, because if you have a child, you really don't understand what your personal responsibility is. Personal responsibility means that you have a responsibility to know the importance of public education and how it is that you can actually ensure that you're providing the right kind of support for your children. And as we see it, and as we should see it, it should be behind the data. Everything has to do with data, but understand 100% of one is still 100%. And that's what I learned when people go around saying they had 100% success, and you're just trying to wonder how that fits with you or with your people. It really doesn't. So when we're looking at how we ensure that we are making progress as a people, we all need to know that we have to stand up and be counted. It's so important to have a voice, and basically that's all you have in life is you have a voice and you have the ability to speak and talk about your concerns as an American citizen, and that's what you get being an American citizen. You get to speak out. But if you don't know what speaking out looks like, then I don't think you ever participate. You just send your kids to school and try to stay within the framework of public education, but we don't even understand the compensatory nature of public education and how that works and how the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment actually affected us as a people, and how we should know the Thurgood Marshall story. We should know exactly what happened behind Malcolm and Martin, and how there are so many people in our history that fought for our freedom, fought for our personal rights, our personal liberties. And I don't believe that our children are learning about those individuals in our past that have enabled us to be at this point in our lives. My sister always says, "Oh, darling, well, if you're going to talk online, you need to make sure that you're not running off or not losing people." And I don't want to lose anyone. I want to talk about the importance of understanding the offer of free and appropriate public education and what that actually looks like. It looks like a benefit to the child. It's not supposed to document every time a child has a challenge and can't meet that specific targeted task in the classroom. And you don't need anyone to tell you how continuously your child is not making the grade, because children can't make the grade if they don't even know what the grade is. And because here in Clark County, for whatever reason, public school is not mandated until the age of 7. But if you get there at 7 and you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, then you are a problem to the system. You are a problem, and people start collecting information about the things that you cannot do. And they don't offer any support about how to transition you to the next step. And so I think that I should be doing a series of live broadcasts, simply so that people can ask questions. And in my journey in life, I have learned about public education. Simply, I've had 3 children, all boys. They all graduated. None of them are incarcerated at this moment. I'm so grateful. It's so important to understand that the system that we fight is continual fight for freedom, and the power that goes along with being a citizen or being an American citizen, simply because people come here every day. Every day people cross the shores and become and start to live in America. through the process of immigration or through an illegal immigration. It doesn't really matter. When they make it to America, they're going to have access to resources. And those resources are not going to be denied to their children. And if they understand the importance of those resources, then they're ensuring that their children get the best benefits. So English language as a second language and all the additional support that comes with the ELA, it definitely is there. But our children, for whatever reason, the transition to understanding the written word, because I mean, it's kind of like if if you don't grow up and have access to intelligent conversation, or your parents don't have a high school diploma, or your parents just don't even talk. There could be situations where children live in and no one's talking to them at all. And so, but when they go to school, they're expected to respond. So we're just trying to understand, the limitations there's limitations that have to do with access. And if you're only watching television, that's what you know, but it doesn't mean that that's real life. Anybody could veg out on television and just take a break, a mental break from real life, because you don't control what happens out here in the real world. No one has control. You have to look for the ways, the pathways of open doors, and be prepared to move through that door when your time comes. And so I'm not exactly sure about how this live stream works, but I am going to see if I can invite some more people in to have a conversation. I've worked with a lot of people as a parent in the public school system and as a community volunteer or as a part of many things, because I've had many opportunities to volunteer, many pathways of knowledge. And to tell the truth, if you never participate in public policy or public engagement of public services, then you don't really know what's going on, and you won't know simply because you've never been in the room. And believe me, there are people in the room that have limited understanding about what your life experience is. But if you're not in the room to share, then your story never gets told. But you're always going to be in need of additional support. So I'm going to figure this thing out. This is a great opportunity to share it in a time where people need to share information, and my journey is mine solely. I've benefited from my journey. I understand life in many different facets, and I'm not asking you to appreciate my understanding, but understand that I've been there. So therefore, if I have something to share that may empower you as an individual in the future, I'm hoping to empower you. So I'm getting ready to end this live stream now. It's been almost 8 minutes, and we're going to see if I can invite some more people in to have a conversation. Have a great day until I speak again.